Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had a rooster, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock-a-doodle-doo and a cock-a-doodle-dog. Ear-a-cock, ear-a-cock, Old MacDonald had a farm. I can't sing. E-I-E-I-O.
I'm too happy to do a cow.
Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hey. Hello.
How's it going? Hello.
Awesome. Happy to be here, girls. Ladies.
That's
me
right.
too.
Not girls.
Me
ladies.
too. Me too.
Yeah. Thanks
We are
so much.
now
right.
ladies, Jana.
Yeah. We are ladies. I have to remind myself.
All right, we want to start off with I am statements.
We do.
Okay. Here's mine for the week.
Okay.
I am open to all adventures that come my way.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I'm on a
it.
mission. More adventures, the better.
True.
Good.
All right, Tish,
Jana?
what about you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I am surrounded by endless possibilities.
Love it.
Like it. Mine is I am a magnet to all good things.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Powerful, man. Powerful.
Very nice. What you got
All right,
going
what's
on,
our
Jana?
topic? Yeah, talk to us, Jan. You had a
Well,
good idea for today.
You know, I was reminiscing. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you noticed my arrow or my shell on my, and actually over here on the wall, got a little shell action over there. But I don't know. I was thinking about our Camino walk. I mean, what a great time that was, huh? I mean, in hindsight,
A little bit.
it was like really the most amazing trip ever. I think when I was going through it, it was really amazing too. But there was some hardcore days where I was like, what did I get into? Because, Tish is walking across the world, and Jen and I just kind of pop in for the last, what was it, 7 days? Tish is walking 30 days.
Yeah.
And then, our first
what's the
day-
Camino for those?
Oh, yeah.
What's the Camino for those listeners that don't know what it is?
I mean, I feel like you're a better descriptor of that. You should probably chat about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a religious
So the
walk.
Tish,
Camino
you're the
is-
master.
You are.
So for those of you who may not know, the Camino is a pilgrimage that goes across Spain. It actually it starts all throughout Europe. There's many different trails. It also starts in the south, like the south of Portugal, the south of Spain. There's all sorts of the Camino means way. So there's all sorts of ways to get to Santiago. So Santiago has a church there, a big cathedral, and it is the final destination for those who are walking the Camino. And I think it started in the year 700 or something like that, and it was it was paying homage to a saint that was found in a boat that had come to shore right there at the west coast of. I think at this point it's pretty famous, right? They have
Yeah.
Who's that movie? The guy who did the movie, he and his son.
Yeah.
His son directed it.
Emilio Estevez's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
What was
was
it
his
called?
dad's-
one of it? The Walk
The
or
Way.
something?
It's
The Way.
Yeah.
The
But
Way.
he was the one who did the actual walk and they filmed it, but I can't remember his name. Anyway,
what's his
Emilio
dad's
Estevez
name?
is his
Dad.
Emilio
Yes,
Estevez's
Sheen.
dad.
Is he a Sheen?
Sheen. It is a Sheen.
Charlie?
Martin Sheen.
Not Charlie. Martin.
Charlie.
It's Martin
Charlie?
Sheen. Charlie was nowhere to
Okay.
be found for this
Martin.
filming. But
Charlie
Emilio
was not
was.
walking
So
a
was his
Camino,
daddy,
that's for
Martin.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So,
His daddy.
yeah.
I mean, there's tons of people who have done it through the years, but it's really popular now. So I had decided I was going to walk it, and then the girls came with me.
Yeah.
Go ahead now.
But
Sorry.
I think the funny thing, I think we got to, like, this could be 15 podcasts, truly.
Yeah.
But this is what
We have a
really
lot of
brought
good
us
stories.
together. But I think I know, the funny thing at the beginning was we kind of invited ourselves, and Jana and I.
I didn't really have an interest in the beginning. I'll be honest. Jen was like, I think we should go.
It was just
I think we should totally do it. And I was like, I mean, maybe, maybe. And then she just kept talking about it. And then I was like, fine, okay, I'll go. Yeah. But yes, you're right. We totally crashed the party.
We did. And we didn't want to commit to the whole thing like Tish did the whole thing, which is so freaking amazing. So we said, we'll just do the last, meet you at the end and walk.
Yeah.
But so thank you for letting us share in your journey, Tish.
Yes. And
I
it was
like
so
your
really
garb, though, Jana. You really prepared for today. I'm shocked.
I know, I did.
Yeah.
I haven't worn this shell since then, to be honest. So it feels kind of good to have it here. I don't even think I've worn this shirt since I got it either. But I don't know. Like, I just think back at that trip, and there's a lot more stories prior to that trip. But, when we all met up that first day, we were in a really beautiful town and hung out. We had a really cool Airbnb that we stayed in. It was really fun. And the next morning we were all just like, yeah, ready to go. It's going to be great, and it was really hot. It was like 90 something every day, right? We came at a very hot time. It was in the summer. And I just remember Jennifer saying, I would like to go the scenic route. I know there's 2 ways to go. And the first way is like on the road. It was very flat. And she goes, I just want to go up the mountain on the scenic route. So I'm not kidding. This mountain went up for hours. It never even went down. It just was straight incline forever. And there were flies flying around my head that would not leave me alone. I remember just, and apparently if you put gel in your hair if you put anything in your hair, the flies love it. So they just swirled in circles around my head all day. But it was just such a hard day. Like, so then we went to this beautiful place to have breakfast. Remember they grew all their vegetables, and anyway, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But it was just by the end of the day, we had to go up that mountain. Our place to stay, our hostel, was at the top of a flipping mountain. And what I remember
Another mountain.
We went over the first. Anyway, but what I remember is we got to the hostel and we had a beer at the top at a little table. And it was literally the best beer I've ever had. And it was such a sense of accomplishment. I mean, I was super tired, but then once we got there, it was like, oh my God, this is awesome. That little town was awesome. I don't know, everything about the trip. Like if we talked about each stop, we would have a really great.
Did you have a goal before you left?
I mean, I personally did not, because I don't know. I didn't even have any expectations, really. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, except I knew I was going to walk a lot. I trained for that. But I feel like I got more out of it after, when I reflect on all of the amazing things that I saw. Like, I think when I was going through it, it wasn't, I know this sounds terrible, but it wasn't as impactful, I think, because it was just us giggling and seeing these amazing things, and, and then being really sore and tired and being in a room with 18 other people sleeping. It's just, at the time you're just like, get me through this day and then I'll go the next day. I don't know. But then when I look back, and there were some pretty amazing things that we did experience on there, I will say that I completely enjoyed, like when we went to that farmhouse, that was so unbelievable that it was our hostel.
Oh yeah.
I just remember we were all dying that day. And, Jana booked it way out of town. It was really off course. And we were all like, and I just felt so terrible because I booked this place that was so off course. And we were like, wow, look at that house. It's so big and beautiful. And that was it. That was our hostel. And it was just like such a cool thing. I don't know. So that was a really cool experience. But I don't know. I think when I got home and I processed everything or I watched videos, and still like now it's been a couple of years, and I look back and I think, oh my God, I would love to do that again. Like, I know that seems crazy, but it would be probably a completely different experience. But the the laughing and the only thought for the day is really like, where's coffee? Where's our next, like, that was so exciting to me to get up and walk and get to the first little place that had coffee and eat breakfast. And I don't know. And then at the end of the day, like hanging out and having dinner wherever it was, or I don't know, all of that was so fun, and I would love, love, love to do that again. And we laughed so much on that trip that I just don't know I think as you get older, you forget to laugh, and you forget how important your friends are. And that experience reminded me how important my friends are. And I do feel like since that trip, I've been way more connected with y'all. Like, I don't know, we talk more. We were talking about that the other day. We interact more. We want to get together, whatever it is. And, we do podcasts, things like that. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting that it always seems to be when you plan something, a trip or a special dinner or a birthday party for somebody, the planning is always fun. That part seems really good. And then once you actually start or you're in it, it's hard to be present. I don't know what that is. It's very hard for me to be present in that very moment. I'm always thinking, if everything's going according to plan, if everything is, is everybody having a good time, or on vacation, am I safe? Just simple things. Am I going to catch the bus? Is it, is the flight on time? There's all these different factors. And I think for me, that's one of the things that I enjoyed about the Camino. And the reason why I'm always looking to do walks from here on out as far as travel. For me, that was the one thing that I took away, was how peaceful life can really be on a holiday, and how present I can be, how many things that I can notice that I never notice in everyday life. Just simple things, flowers and smells and people laughing, or young kids kissing. I mean, when you were talking about those kids coming up the trail, even that was so fun for me to watch. There was a man and a wife who had just had a baby, and I think they were from Germany or something. And she was walking. This baby was, I think, less than 10 weeks old. And she was walking and breastfeeding, and they were just going along at their own pace and eating lunch and laughing. And it was just absolutely beautiful to watch. And I don't know, that's the kind of thing I miss during the day. That's my goal, right? Obviously, is to stay present, but I tend to miss a lot during my days, because my mind is on a to-do list.
That's the thing. We're walking across a whole entire country by foot. That's all there's so many things that you're noticing, that you're hearing, that you're smelling, that you would never if you were in a car and buzzing around. There's just only so much you can do when you're walking. And one thing that I learned about myself that I'm really surprised, I knew it was going to be painful. I knew it was going to be hard. And I trained for it. But like Jana said, we didn't know what to expect. Like we went in blind, basically.
What do you mean blind? I was giving you videos all the time telling you what to expect.
But you still,
what do you mean blind, man? I was trying.
I know, but it still was like, it was much more than I anticipated. Like I was at a pain level of like 8 out of 10 the whole time.
I didn't know that.
and which is good. I was like, I'm not going to complain, but you know, I was the one that kept stopping. I was the one that kept bending over, you know, like, oh good Lord, just
Oh,
let me
I
make
was
it to
happy.
another.
I was happy. I was like,
You
what
guys-
dogs are you looking at? I would like to see them too. Because
Isn't that pebble beautiful? Look at
That
it down
Yes.
there.
And those black bugs, we were like,
Yes.
oh, look at these black caterpillars. These are so fascinating. I was dying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like Jana said, once you get to the final destination and you have that beer, like we had a beer at the
Yeah.
end of every day,
Yeah.
it was a total transformation. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be okay. A.
Yeah.
B, I'm going to do it again tomorrow because I have
Yeah.
my buddies with me and it's going to
Yeah.
be okay because I'm not alone
Yeah.
and I have my friends and what rang true, which I knew in my heart, but I had forgotten, is friends can help you through anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they can help you through walking 120 miles in the heat and then in the rain and then in the cold and your feet are killing you and your legs and you want to cry, but you just keep going because your
Yeah.
friends are there like, come on, let's go. You know, rocking and rolling and giggling and just
We need to post
fun.
we need to post some clips of that for everybody to see who
yeah,
wants to
for
see that.
sure.
Because like
Yeah.
For
that video where we were trying to share the raincoat.
Rain jacket.
Yes.
That was so funny.
Yeah, the rain jacket.
So funny.
There's so many funny videos.
There are so many good ones.
But it's such an experience and such a gift. And Tish, we were so blessed to have you that spoke the language. So that made it so much easier. And you took care of our backpacks for us every day. And
I mean, she carried all of them.
You
It
know,
was
just
amazing.
being there. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You were like the
No,
mule.
just for the listeners who don't know, like you can call ahead and they'll pick up your
Yeah.
backpack and take it to the next place that you're going to stay.
Which is the only way to do it, in my opinion.
Which is the only way. I don't know if you remember this, but at the beginning, I was like, I feel like I mean, I've been training with my backpack. I really feel like I should wear it. Oh my God. Can you imagine if I would have been wearing it?
Oh, God.
I wouldn't be here to tell. No, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, no way.
understand that, but again, everybody, you know, to their own
Everybody's
devices.
different.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I was whistling along all the time because I had that tiny little backpack that my friend Marissa, had let me borrow. Well, she actually gave it to me, but it was just a tiny little day pack, and it was fabulous. And once I shipped it that first day, I was like, I'm never going to carry that thing.
Never.
Like, who am I trying to impress? Walking 500 miles is
Yeah.
a feat in itself,
Enough.
you know?
Yes.
When y'all came along, it was at the perfect time. Like just to
Yeah.
walk into Santiago with you, to experience that last part. I think maybe it was the last third of the trip. It was so much fun. You know, it's very peaceful to be by yourself, but I noticed that when I travel alone, I lose a lot of memories. Like because
Really?
I'm not talking about them and I'm not sharing them, I forget. You know, just like you were saying,
Yeah.
the first night or the second night we got to a hostel, I'm like, oh, we did. Where was that? You know, so it's really important for me to realize that traveling with friends, you know, great friends, makes a big difference.
I do think that was sort of the beginning of a growth period for all of us, though. Like, I mean, even if it was just the very, you know, very, very beginning, but just the whole experience itself, it's like we want more of that. How do we find that peace? How do we find that, like decrease stress and, you know, positive thinking and, you know, I think that's, for me, like that's kind of where that journey started. Like, I feel like I've tried it my whole life, but now that I'm a little older and, you know, how do I want that to look? I don't want it to be stressful and I don't want to be negative, and I want to find the beauty in everything, even people or, you know, that are not so nice or have something going on, you know, maybe flipping it around and figuring out, you know, maybe they got something else going on. So I don't know, just be more loving, maybe.
And I loved how at the end of the day or when we were at lunch or whatever, we would say, okay, what'd you learn today? Or what do you guys remember what the phrase was? Like, what's your takeaway today?
I remember you saying something, at the end of every day. but I can't remember what it was now. Would you recommend traveling like that, Jennifer, to somebody? Like walking instead of you would?
Yeah.
So as
Yeah.
hard as it was on your body and stuff, would if somebody said, "Hey, I'm thinking about walking across Ireland," because I mean, there's tons of trails all over
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
You would do it again?
Absolutely. I would do it again. I'd probably do less miles in a day and like take in because I feel
Yeah.
like when we got to our towns or our cities or whatever, it was rush, rush. We had to take a shower. We had to wash our clothes. We had to, get our hostel, blah, blah, blah. So I would probably do it a little slower, but
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat again, for sure.
Yeah.
And,
Me too.
but the key is who you're traveling with.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
That could make or break it. So some people, right? We met a lot of people that were doing it alone. And if that's your thing, then do it alone, but don't force it. Don't force it with somebody you might not be able to do that with.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll make or break it. I would do it.
Oh, for sure. Especially a trip like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would drive you crazy. Or somebody that's talking when you need silence, or, I mean, because you're spending 24 hours a day together,
I would say the other thing too is just, I think what we did is like, this is our walk, like each individual walk. So if you can't make it, bus it to the next town. We'll see you there. Just knowing that it was like, we're not there to like hobble along and pull the weak one along, whatever. It was all like, we were all at different points. We didn't always walk together, so, but anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's important too. Whoever you're traveling with is okay with that,
To respect that. Yeah. Yeah. To respect that everybody's on their own journey. And that's, I think, what we did really well is we all had our deal. We all were struggling with something at one point or another. And we just respected that. Oh, you want to walk alone? Go ahead and walk alone, and we'll see you up there. We'll see you at the bar.
Jana told me a story the other day, how funny it was that we were at a bar, and she's like, "Don't you remember?" And Jennifer left, and she was walking with the parade, and I was like, "What?"
I'm like, where did she go? And I call her.
She left the bar and joined a parade.
She's like in the middle of the parade. Oh my God.
That's so funny.
That was after no wine. There was no wine involved in that story.
No, none whatsoever. She's like, "Do I hear a band?"
That makes me laugh so hard.
I'm there.
Music is a universal language. I don't need to speak Spanish to be in the parade.
That's right.
See.
All right, ladies, anybody want to share anything else while we wrap this up?
What's our takeaway today? What's our gold nugget?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I feel like it is live in the moment. I mean, live in the moment, enjoy what's around you, be thankful. We're so blessed for family and friends, and don't forget that, don't forget what you have, and don't focus on what you don't have.
It's so true. It's tough, but I think you're 100% right. You have to just constantly bring yourself into the moment and be so appreciative, because those moments go by so fast.
Yeah. No matter what you're doing.
Yeah, it was a blink of an eye for sure. And now I look back and think how wonderful that is. But even today was wonderful. My sister and I went for a walk across the park and saw a man and, had a little conversation and looked at all of the trees that blew over through the windstorm last night. And so, I mean, everything is about that, isn't it? Just stay present, be appreciative, and, good food.
It's a better
today.
way. It's a better way to live, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
it sure is.
All right. I have a little saying that I've been trying to focus on, and it kind of goes along with that, is what you pay attention to expands. So if you're paying attention to the little things that are really cool and special, and even if it's on your walk, you're going to find more of that, and you're going to have more that you want to appreciate and see. And so I've been really trying to pay attention to all of the things that I want more of.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
I want more of this, lady. So I'm paying attention.
Let's go.
I got my eyes on you. All right. We're sending y'all positive vibes, and we're wishing everybody a great week. And until next time.
Yeah. See you later.
Adios.
Adios. Buen camino.
Buen
Camino.
Camino.